It's a big week, Ace.
Well, it's the big show.
The truth is, we want Paul Wight versus Shaq. I feel like it's finally going to happen. I tuned in, and I got to see The Miz, someone that I've been following the career since he started, and I got to see him reclaim the title that I feel he rightly deserves for a second time. It's fun.
It's not fun when you know that he's only going to be a champion for 1 week, and then he's going to be put against Bad Bunny.
Okay, but we don't know that.
We do know that, fam. It's booking 101.
I'll tell you what happened. Darby thought he was 1996 Shawn Michaels and repelled his ass from the top of the stadium. Tell me this isn't the greatest thing you've ever seen.
Can I tell you, this reminds me of WCW.
It's so WCW stuff, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Weekly Finish Up. My name is Roger, a.k.a. Beef Supremey.
Beef Supremo!
And to my left is A Styles, baby.
What's good? It's your boy A Styles.
What is good? Usually we talk all things AEW, but it's been a wild week, so we're gonna talk all things wrestling this week. But all you know things. What? All day. But you know what? This week isn't even. I don't even know what to describe this week. Anything but big. It's a big week, Ace.
Well, it's the big show. Yo.
Usually we review a match to start off the show, but you know what? We had a big announcement this week. The big show, Paul Wight is all elite.
Baby, what? Do you understand the magnitude this is? I know that everybody is still talking about it. Everybody is still trying to process what in the world is Paul Wight, a.k.a. Big Show, going to do in the Impact Zone? Excuse me, is going to do in AEW Wrestling. You caught that.
Why are you like this?
You caught that. But no, think about it. Just before we even get into it, we break it down. Think about it. The first two detractors from WCW going to WWF was Chris Jericho and Paul Wight. And now we're having the same thing happening in AEW. That's huge. That's
funny.
Huge, right?
If
you look back, history is repeating itself, but this time in favor to AEW.
You're right. Well, you know what that means? Eventually, we're getting the NWO back, baby.
No, we get it, John Cena. We get it, John Mother-loving Cena.
So that's where I want to take this discussion. Obviously, Paul Wight's going to have a huge impact in this company.
Yes.
I feel like this is Tony Khan's fuck money at its best. And we are about to find out how far this goes. In my opinion, there is no way that he's not trying to get The Undertaker here. In your opinion, John Cena is going to show up one day. Is that like, where do you see this going? Like, who do you actually see deflecting one day?
I think, okay, first of all, this is a loaded question, so let's break this down, right? First of all, Undertaker, right? He is the Sting of WWE, right? He has always flown the ship and always waved the flag of WWE. And for this time, for the first time ever, I think he's going to AEW. And the only reason why I say that, is because AEW is just changing the landscape of everything it does when it comes to wrestling. The fact that Big Show did an interview and said, I feel so much more comfortable with AEW. I see what they're doing and I want to go there. That's levels of showing the magnitude of what Tony Khan is doing in AEW.
It is. I mean, I don't think it's far-fetched to say this. And, you know, Sting has been treated right. Chris Jericho has been treated right.
Yeah.
John Moxley has been treated right.
Yeah.
What do you see Paul Wight doing in AEW?
And that's my thing, right? And so many people were like, oh my God, we got Big Show. He's about to come to AEW. No. You see, that's where you guys are wrong. Look at the track record that AEW has with its legends. It uses the legends not only as big marquee names, but they use the legends to promote the younger talent. Look already what they're doing with Paul Wight. He's going to commentate and he's going to have an in-ring license on AEW Dark Elevations every day on Monday night, on Mondays on YouTube, right? That's already
AEW
showing.
Elevation.
Exactly. So do I want to see Paul Wight in the ring? Yes, I do. Do I want to see him wrestle Kenny Omega for the title? No, I don't. But I don't think that's going to really happen. I actually see a Shaq versus Big Show match happening.
I was going to say, okay, so obviously we see The Undertaker going. You mentioned John Cena. I think there are potential matches that he could have with the wrestlers in AEW.
Yeah.
But the truth is, we want Paul Wight versus Shaq. I feel like it's finally going to happen.
Yeah, I think it's finally going to happen. And not only that, Twitter was going crazy. Even Marcus Stunt has action figures of Big Show. He tweeted on Instagram a picture of him with a Big Show toy, and he was like, "I'm so happy he's here." Can you imagine Big Show managing Marcus Stunt? This small little kid with big old Big Show and him being an ultimate heel, and then anytime he wins, Big Show just does a knockout punch and that's it. Can you imagine that?
I like that.
Can you imagine that? Like, there's so many possibilities you could do with the Big Show. Either him managing or him doing stuff in the backstage. It's great. It's just it adds levels to it.
I think this adds to why we love AEW. I feel like they give us what we truly want. It feels like a fan-run place, and I think that's fun. You know, there's no reason why we couldn't get Sting versus The Undertaker. There's no reason. The Big Show got in shape like the last few years, and he specifically said, "I'm doing it to take on Shaq," and we never got it. I feel like we're getting this now, and honestly, you know, the Big Show had lost his luster. He turned heel every now and then. He turned face every now and then. Like he lost the mystique. So the fact that everyone's like excited about him again, this is good for everybody.
Yeah, and you have to remember, right? You have to remember, just last year, he got fed to Drew McIntyre right after beating Brock Lesnar, right? And they use him in that magnitude. They use him to feed
They use him like that, yeah.
They use him like that, right? So they don't create these matches where you can automatically see Big Show winning, and it doesn't even, like, I don't even think that much even helped Drew McIntyre cement himself as anything.
It doesn't.
It just felt like a regular, we already know that was it, right? There's nothing there.
And I think that's why it's important. Again, this brings it back. I've been following the Giant since he started in WCW. Yeah. He was a world champion, and they put him against Hulk Hogan to start off his career.
Yeah.
And he was a spectacle, man. Like you go to a Nitro show, and like that's who you're seeing. And I feel like we're getting that again with everyone. I'm excited to see where this is going.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Arguably, and this is just my opinion, but this is a hot take. Arguably, I think the Big Show was bigger in WCW than he was in WWE.
There's no doubt.
I think his run in WCW eclipses his run in WWE.
The thing is, so he was in the WWE for, a total of 22 years, but he left briefly in 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
But he had great matches with, like, especially with Brock Lesnar on SmackDown, Kurt Angle, The Undertaker. He had a great SmackDown reign for a while. Yeah. So he definitely had, but you're right. I think it's all about the spectacle, because I would see the Giant do like a giant drop kick from the top rope. And that's like, whoa, man. Like, they made an effort to show you, like, oh, this is a once-in-a-lifetime athlete. Like, check it out. So you're right. I'm excited where this is going. And I don't disagree with that take on you at all. But I don't know, man. I'm happy. Besides Shaq, any other dream match you have real quick?
I think, again, him managing Marcus Stunt, him probably teaming up with Jerry Show again, that would be pretty cool. Maybe some go there. Him and Chris Jericho. I think him and Luchasaurus would create a great matchup. I think him and Lance Archer would also create some different things. I feel like there's so many possibilities to put him as a manager, though. And I think that's one thing I love about AEW. When you see the legends, they just work so well managing. Like, it just works. It just meshes. Together.
That's why this comeback is amazing. And speaking about comebacks, we had someone do a remarkable comeback at the Elimination Chamber this week, and that is The Miz. We have a new WWE champion. What? I'm happy, Ace.
I'm not. and I tell you why. I'm so tired. This is supposed to be WrestleMania's build-up. This is supposed to be no. This is supposed to be a build-up, and this feels like filler upon filler upon filler. Why? Because we have WWE Fastlane coming up, and they're just trying to scramble and make up a match so they can fill that pay-per-view instead of building up WrestleMania. WrestleMania, the build-up to WrestleMania is no longer a build-up. The build-up happens right after Fastlane.
Okay, so if that's your take, so obviously we have Edge and Roman Reigns, and you know that's been beefing up the past few weeks.
But that's not beefing up because it's going to be Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns at Fastlane.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah, that's not Fastlane. I'm talking about WrestleMania here.
But
right?
that's what I'm trying to tell you. The road to WrestleMania doesn't happen until Fastlane.
No, okay. I think your problem is that you don't see. It's a bumpy road sometimes.
Oh my God, it's a bumpy road. It's a bumpy road. What's the point of winning Royal Rumble if you're gonna have if somebody else is gonna take your place at Fastlane?
I had this discussion at home with the wifey. Let me tell you what the point of it is. It's supposed to be almost like a final chance for you to earn your spot, because the Royal Rumble is where you get your shot. You know, you get it. It's guaranteed. You're good. But we still have 2 months to go, sometimes 3 months, because it's in April now. So the Elimination Chamber gives you this giant, this giant obstacle that if you are able to overcome it, then you earn a potential shot. Daniel Bryan went through hell at the Elimination Chamber, and granted, he got beat up by Roman Reigns. That's fine, but he showed that he deserves a shot. He earned it. That's the point of it all.
So then what's the point of winning the Royal Rumble, fam? I'm not understanding. Well, then like I said, so then everything right now is going to be filler.
So
then what happens? What happens when, for example, what happens when now we want to see Daniel Bryan versus Edge? So now the match between Edge and Roman Reigns is thrown out the window?
Here's the thing. Anyone that wants to see Edge versus Daniel Bryan to main event WrestleMania, you're not a true wrestling fan.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Wait a minute. See, and that's what I'm saying. You're over here. No, fam. Go ahead. Your takes are ridiculous.
No, let me tell you why. Come on, let's be realistic. I love Daniel Bryan. I love Edge. I'm a huge Edge fan.
Yeah, I know.
But let's not act like Daniel Bryan versus Edge would sell out a 50,000 plus attendance crowd arena. Like, it wouldn't.
I know that. So then why are we wasting our time?
So then it's not wasting our time. It's not. The road is bumpy on the way there. And if you're the champion, if you're Roman Reigns, you still have to go through Daniel Bryan, because we have time till WrestleMania. Is he supposed to chill at home this whole time?
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like these pay-per-views in between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania is pointless.
This makes no. Okay, I need people to comment.
Because no. This is why you don't understand. If that's the case, then they should make Royal Rumble happen after Fastlane and Elimination Chamber.
You want to change 30 years?
Yes, because what's the point of Fastlane and let's go back to the Miz. Miz just won Money in the Bank. Is he gonna win? No, probably not. He's gonna lose on Monday Night Last.
I need people to comment, because legit, I think Ace has lost his mind.
No, you've lost your mind.
No. Ace, we have had this since forever. They used to have an in your house pay-per-view in February. They've always had a February pay-per-view. Kurt Angle has lost the title a month before WrestleMania. The Rock has won the title right before WrestleMania. It happens. That's the point. We're building up towards a specific card that we want. I don't understand. Do you want people to just stay at home in the meantime? That just doesn't make sense to me.
The point is that they're saturating the matches. The fact is that there's no point of me in caring, because I know that's going to be the main event. We already know that Edge and Roman Reigns are going to be main event. So why am I wasting my time? Why am I investing on Daniel Bryan to go watch this feud that's going to end up being Roman Reigns winning?
Because
it feels like filler.
What if it turns into a triple threat?
What do you mean you don't know? What do you mean you don't know? You know. You just said it yourself. You know it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Edge. So why in the bluest to blue hell would they put Daniel Bryan? Daniel Bryan, there's going to be filler.
No. Daniel Bryan, first off, Daniel Bryan can lose and then maybe cost Roman the match at WrestleMania. You still have angles that you have to go through. By the way, besides your problem with all this, are you not excited to see The Miz finally reclaim his WWE?
No, because he's going to become a transitional champion.
And what is wrong with a transitional champion?
Because then it's a horrible thing. You just said it yourself. Miz deserves to be a champion. And I agree. Miz has worked his butt off. He has always been the constant good when it comes to Monday Night Raw. Not one day off. So why is he being fed to Bobby Lashley? Only so he can be Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre.
But if that were the case, here's the thing. This is a problem. Sometimes people want to speculate. You're getting ahead of yourself.
I'm not. We know the card is ahead. We know what's happening at WrestleMania.
No. You get ahead of yourself instead of just enjoying instead of just a weekly product. I tuned in and I got to see The Miz, someone that I've been following the career since he started. And I got to see him reclaim the title that I feel he rightly deserves for a second time. That makes me happy, and I want to know what the next month brings. Because whenever they release a Best of Miz DVD in the future, it might include some of these matches. Like, you have to look at it on a week-by-week basis. It's fun.
It's not fun when you know that he's only going to be a champion for 1 week, and then he's going to be put against Bad Bunny.
Okay, but we don't know that.
We do know that, fam. It's booking 101.
Question: will you be mad if Bad Bunny cost them the title?
No, I honestly felt like what should have happened, in my opinion, he should have cashed in at WrestleMania.
But we've already done that. We've already done that.
So it at least makes it a lot bigger. Or the next night of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, you could do that, but we already did that. Like, the whole point is you're building up the Miz on the way to WrestleMania, and now you build suspense. Because honestly, okay, you think we're leading towards Lashley and McIntyre, right?
Yes.
So why wouldn't they just do that without taking away the title from McIntyre?
Because again, they need to fill up these 2 pay-per-views coming up.
I know. So you don't think they could have filled it up with McIntyre as champion?
No.
Why?
Because they need filler.
I know. So you don't think McIntyre can wrestle in between WrestleMania?
No. So what they're trying to do is, again, let me book it for you 101. What's going to end up happening is it's going to be Bobby Lashley beating The Miz this Monday. Okay. McIntyre is coming back on Monday. He's going to want revenge, and he's going to want
what you're telling me. I'm not asking your prediction. I'm asking you. You don't think McIntyre could have wrestled from here until WrestleMania defending his title?
He could, but they didn't want to do that.
Why?
Because they need more filler.
You don't make any sense.
That's making sense. They need more filler.
The filler.
They're trying to move. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. They're trying to move the pieces together so that they can actually make a good main event.
I really need people to comment. Please leave a comment because Ace has lost his mind on this.
Beef Supreme has lost his mind. And let me tell you something why. The fact that he's okay with these 2 pay-per-views, Elimination Chamber and Fastlane, and things A-okay, that's why that is why WrestleMania right after Fastlane becomes so rushed. Because they're trying to throw everything together.
I am excited, and so are the fans. And another thing they are excited about.
I don't know who they are.
They are excited. And you know what else they're excited about? We're finally going to get our much-coveted women's championship match, Sasha Banks against Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. Can I at least get some excitement for this match?
No, that is the match of the year. That is going to be the match of the night. And I say that because these are 2 athletic women. Sasha Banks has been carrying the SmackDown Women's division along with Bayley. I still think Bayley's carrying the division as well. But Sasha Banks is the blueprint of wrestling, of SmackDown, right? And now we have Bianca Belair, who is arguably the most athletic female on the roster. It's a match made in heaven.
It is. I think people are excited about this. And people have been wanting Bianca to get her shot. You asked what's the point of the Royal Rumble. I think Bianca's proving what the point is, and she's getting her shot. And I think she's going to succeed in her mission. But my question is, what happens to Bayley? Do you think Bayley gets left out of WrestleMania?
She'll probably be in the women's battle royal.
You think there's a women's battle royal?
No, yeah. I mean, I could possibly see them doing it at a WrestleMania at a battle royale. They'll probably become the more contender. The point is, though, I don't even know if it's going to happen because they need a filler match for what's it called? For Fastlane. So it might be Reginald versus Sasha Banks and Bianca. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh my God, they're not filler.
They are, because who the hell is Reginald? I don't know, but they're going to insert him into the match. Reginald on a pole or Reginald in a shark cage.
WWE constantly does this problem where they want to create a little triangle situation. They did it with James Ellsworth. They did it with Santino Marella. Now they're doing it with Reginald. Literally, nobody cares. Just give us the match we want, and we'll move on.
Because they're always trying to add one different thing to it, which makes absolutely no sense why they need it. But according to them, it's needed.
They try to add other elements. Real quick, so I predict that Bianca's going to succeed. Who do you think is going to win this match? And second,
Bianca's winning.
Do you think it'll main event WrestleMania?
No, it will not main event WrestleMania.
Okay, and who do you think is going to win?
It will be Bianca beating Sasha Banks, but it will not main event WrestleMania.
Okay, I have high hopes.
I don't. This might be a hot take, but I don't think we'll ever get another women's WrestleMania main event.
Why are you like this?
And the reason for that is because there's no one on the caliber of Ronda Rousey.
What are you? Why are you?
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. That's the mindset of WWE.
I genuinely feel like you've lost your mind. We literally have decades of wrestling coming our way. I think Sasha, yes. and we've said this before, the four horsewomen, in my opinion, are the greatest women's wrestlers of all time. I agree, Ronda elevated everyone. I think Sasha is elevating Bianca right now.
Yeah.
I think the minute that Becky comes back, we're going to start getting some of these matches that are like dream matches again and top-notch matches, and it'll be great.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. I know Becky will come back and change up the roster, but I don't think I don't think a women's wrestling match will main event a WrestleMania ever again, unless they have a star power of Ronda Rousey.
I don't think you can say ever again. We have like.
I say ever. I say Ronda Rousey was that crossover star that they needed. Not personally, I don't think they needed her to main event, but that's the WWE mentality. So I believe, even though we have Sasha Banks and she's a larger-than-life superstar, and just to clarify, I'm not saying that they will never, ever main event WrestleMania. I just don't think we will see a women's main event anytime soon.
But that's what you said.
But that's not what I meant, though. If we have a caliber of Becky Lynch again, yes.
Wait, I need to move on to the next topic. But are you saying Sasha is not on the caliber of like
Becky?
Roman Reigns?
Oh, is she on the caliber of Becky? No.
What? You lost your mind. Who are you today?
Becky is arguably more popular than Sasha Banks.
As a Sasha fan, I think you're completely crazy. Guys, who's right? Me or Ace? Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
We had a crazy WWE week.
Yes, we did.
Our bread and butter is AEW, and my bread and butter is anything Sting. And Ace, this is my favorite topic every week. What happened between Sting and Darby and Team Taz this week? I'll tell you what happened. Sting put Darby in a body bag. He dragged his ass through the desert. And then he came out with another body bag with Taz's son inside. And then Darby thought he was 1996 Shawn Michaels and repelled his ass from the top of the stadium and beat up Team Taz. Tell me this isn't the greatest thing you've ever seen.
Can I tell you this reminds me of WCW?
It's so WCW.
Can I tell you this reminds me of WCW? Let me tell you something. That whole segment was fire, okay? That whole segment was super fire, okay? For the first time ever, we did not. And see, this is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? This slow build in AEW is just so good. We had 3-4 weeks of him just coming out and talking. They were rumbling, and now we're getting action. Right now we're getting everything going. It's so good, man. It's so good. Darby coming from the rafters, a Sting going in there doing the Stinger splash.
We got a Stinger splash, baby.
It was so good. It was so good.
And we got a Scorpion Death Drop. I feel bad for Hook, man. Taz was just doing his job as a commentator, and then he opens the body bag, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And like, that sucks. Like, that was excellent.
Now, do we know if this match is going to be cinematic or is it going to be an actual match?
I keep wondering that because first off, I feel bad for the fans that show up and pay like a good price for their ticket, and then the whole match is backstage. Yeah. I always feel bad for those situations.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Sting could take some bumps, man. He looked a little winded even after whooping some ass.
Yeah, I know. So I'm curious if it's going to be a simulation of both, what they kind of do with the hardcore match back on Dynamite, where they were fighting in the ring and then they went in the back.
And then they take it to the back, yeah.
And then they take it to the back, which I would be okay with that. I have no problem with that.
No, I like that. I'm okay with that. Obviously, this pay-per-view's coming up. Who do you think is going to win?
I want to say Darby Allin. But I think Team Taz is going to win.
You think Team Taz is going to take it?
I think Team Taz is going to take it.
All right. Yeah. All right. I don't want to. Obviously, I think Sting needs a victory. We got to reclaim those victory years, so hopefully that happens. But regardless of what happens, I think Sting has proven, like you said, that there's a place for these legends in the company.
Exactly. They again, Darby Allin feels he already was a great character.
Doesn't he feel like bigger than life now?
Yes, he feels larger than life now. He feels like a main eventer. He feels like someone who can carry this company. And I don't know if it's because he's been hanging around with Sting. He just feels legit now. And I'm not saying he never did. I'm just saying now it's cemented. Like, I can back this guy because I believe in this guy.
I agree, man. I agree. Well, obviously a good week for the Stinger and Darby Allin, yes. But it wasn't a good week for Papa Buck. The Young Bucks brought their parents. They brought them out to a show. They wanted to show their faces on the backstage trucks. And the Inner Circle just had to come in and ruin the day, man. Papa Buck was all dressed up. He put his best suit on, and they whooped his ass right in front of his kid's truck. Ace, why?
I think, first of all, let's talk about the idea of Chris Jericho and MJF beating up Papa Buck. The disrespect for that man, okay? But I'm not trusting this Jericho and MJF team up. I don't trust it. I legit think something's gonna happen this Sunday, which is next week, and I believe that something legit is gonna happen, and it's gonna be the breakup of the Inner Circle.
First of all, we lost track of where Sammy Guevara is. Like, he legit left.
Yeah, he legit left.
I think MJF, you're right. There's something still in the water that doesn't mesh well. But you know what? They showed that they mean business, man. They got some blood out of Papa Buck. Papa Buck was dripping blood. An ambulance. I just feel bad. It's even when they beat up the Mrs. Dad, it's like you don't want stuff like that, man. I always feel bad.
Yeah, those little viejitos, we gotta be careful with them. We gotta take care of our viejitos.
We gotta take care of the viejitos, and hopefully
we got to.
And hopefully the Young Bucks handle their business on Sunday.
But I don't see the Inner Circle winning. I don't see them winning at all.
I don't see them winning either, to be honest. And I think the Young Bucks haven't even had the titles for that long. We need a longer reign.
Yeah.
I like that. But someone else that hasn't had success in garnering a title is Brit Baker, man. Brit Baker. Okay, she legit, in my opinion, had a potential match of the week if it wasn't for the elimination.
No. That was match of the week. I don't know.
It was insane. Like
Nyla Rose. Wow, just hands down, incredible.
Great chemistry, and we were just talking about Sasha as a main eventer. Britt Baker can main event like AEW with these matches, because that was a great 20-minute solid match.
Yes.
My thing I want to pose to you, and we've discussed this before. What is holding her back? She pulled all the stops and she still lost.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I feel like, and this is the real honest truth. We have to remember, right? She's 2 years in, and she's that good. We don't talk about that enough because we already see her as legit. But we have to understand, she's 2 years in. She's 2 years in this wrestling game, and she's that good. And I feel like I don't know if it's just herself or the company, I don't know. But I think for her, she's just not fully, maybe it might be her. She understands that she's not ready for it yet. And she knows that it's going to be a slow process.
She does understand that. Britt Baker really is she puts high goals in front of herself. And, she had her beef with Thunder Rosa. She's gone through Nyla Rose in the past.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're not going to get a conclusion to her and Thunder Rosa's feud. I don't know if she's ever going to get a chance to take on Riho. I don't know if she's ever going to get a chance to take on Hikaru Shida. The point is, she lost, man. Nyla Rose, by the way, which we haven't seen in a while, she came in and showed everyone why she's a former women's champion.
And Excalibur highlighted something in that match, which blew me away. Nyla has actually wrestled some of these Joshi women's wrestling, which I had no idea. She's fought Emi Sakurai. She's fought Veni. Nyla Rose is a world star athlete, which I had no idea until Excalibur told me that. She trained over there. And so she knows these women. The pedigree that Nyla Rose brings to the ring is huge. That's why I feel like that's why she became a women's champion, because Nyla is legit. And sometimes we forget about that. We think, oh, she's a rookie. No, Nyla has veteran in her. Like, she is just an incredible athlete.
You know what? That's a fair point. And it goes back to your point about Brit Baker, that she's just 2 years in. I think Brit Baker legit could run the women's division, but she's not delivering her wins. You know, she almost delivered the lockjaw to her like 3 different times. And I was like, ooh, this is the one. And she couldn't get the job done. Yeah. Nyla Rose has already gone through Riho. She's already gone through other women. Yeah. I think people randomly underestimate big wrestlers sometimes. You know, people like the Big Show, people like King, Luchasaurus. And in the women's division, Nyla Rose, I feel like people sometimes expect her to not be as agile or as good. And she is.
And that's why I'm saying this match was match of the week, because Brit Baker, fan favorite, we know that. We like Nyla as well. You can look all over the internet. They wanted Brit Baker to win. But at the end of that match, we all said, damn, Nyla Rose is a beast. And that's exactly what happened.
I think that says something. You're right. Like, even though I thought Brit Baker was going to win, but I wasn't even disappointed, because I feel like Nyla proved herself.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's why it's so imperative that these women get these type of matches, and why this women's eliminated tournament is so damn amazing, because we're spotlighting these women and learning. It's almost like the WandaVision episode that we just saw. It shows the background. It shows their in-ring ability. It shows just what they can bring to the table, and we're seeing that. Arguably, these past few weeks has been amazing for not only the women's division, but women's wrestling in general.
So, question: do you think Nyla goes all the way? I still think Riho is taking that title shot.
I don't know. I'm scared now. I'm legit scared, because here's the situation: that tomorrow night on Bleacher Report live for free, we're having Riho versus Thunder Rosa. That's a huge matchup. I don't even know who's gonna win. I don't know who's gonna win. I don't even know if we can. I don't know. Like, this tournament is so wild. I don't know. I don't know if Nyla goes on.
Well, obviously you thought WWE is filler. I don't know if you think AEW is filler at the moment, but
no.
After everything that we've seen, before we go on to our question of the week, what were your final thoughts of this week, Ace?
I thought it was great. I thought AEW was the talk of the town. AEW with Big Show, with their Dynamite, with the women's tournament, they are changing the game. They are changing the wrestling world 1 week at a time.
And I'm guessing you think the other is filler.
And the other one is filler. You
damn right. Oh my God! All right. Well, obviously, quite the week, but now it is time for the question of the week.
Which is?
This is usually where I throw in some music. Whatever. So the question of the week, because we had a big week this week, Ace, I want to know, who is your favorite big wrestler of all time?
Well, it's the Big Show. And
He's your favorite?
The reason why I say that is because the Big Show is, we had Great Khali, we had all these people, but Big Show is just, he has it. The only man who can cry on instant, the only man who's done so much in this business, Big Show is my big guy.
All right. Personally, I don't think there's been anyone that's a big guy that has as much charisma as Kevin Nash. I think Kevin Nash is the ultimate charismatic big guy. He wasn't even as good of a wrestler as like a lot of big wrestlers. You know, someone like Brody Lee or Kane or even Undertaker. Like, all these guys, Kevin Nash was never that agile like them. But you know what? He carried himself like a main eventer. That man had a great look, great mystique about him. And I personally think the Big Show is the greatest big wrestler of all time, but Kevin Nash is by far my favorite and the coolest.
Man, Big Daddy Cool, Big Daddy King Diesel. I get you, man. He's charismatic, he's good, but he ain't the Big Show, though. Just saying. He ain't the Big Show.
Okay. And let's not forget, they had a classic feud in WCW.
That's right.
Which resulted in a terrible power bomb that almost paralyzed the Big Show. But you know what? That's a different story. We're going to move on. But honestly, like I said, a big week for everyone involved. Like I've said before,
Literally, just read this. Stop saying it's been a big week. You said it 30 times. Just read this.
And now we gotta do a pickup. Stop my.
Okay, and then say this.
Okay, leave a comment below. Who is your favorite big wrestler? What did you think of the week? You know what we all thought. Now we want to know what you think. That's it. Ace, let everyone know where they can find us.
Ladies and gentlemen and kids who are watching, you who are watching us right now, you can like and subscribe and please leave a comment at Roger Talks Wrestling down below. But not only that, ladies and gentlemen, I know you busy. I know you do a lot of things. I know you tired. So guess what? This show, yeah, that's right, the Weekly Finisher, this show exactly, is available on everywhere you get your podcast. That's Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon Music, you name it, we got it. So whether you are driving, whether you in the shower, or you at the gym, you can listen to the Weekly Finisher anywhere and everywhere at the Weekly Replay, at theweeklyreplay.net. Use the hashtag Weekly Finisher to interact with us. We will always be live tweeting. We will always interact with you guys. So again, follow us on the podcast. Like, subscribe. Roger, that's a wrap, my guy.
That's a wrap. Let's get out of here.
Until next time, America.
Bye.